This is MVP Black bringing you another Final Fantasy VII related video. This video is going to be on the quote-unquote worst chocobos in the game for breeding and racing. And does Chocobilly actually give good recommendations? Is he a stable master? Or is he just a hillbilly? Or is he a bit of both? I'm also going to see if the Final Fantasy Wiki is true on this about the Kalm Traveler's Gold Chocobo. If you don't know who the Kalm Traveler is, he's the guy who you give the Desert Rose to after defeating Ruby Weapon and you get a Gold Chocobo. We're going to see if it is really a bad Chocobo for racing and breeding, and I'm going to give the actual stats of this Chocobo in this video. So let's get right into this. So starting off, I'm going to take a look at this so-called worst Chocobo. You can catch this Chocobo near the Icicle area, where you can also catch wonderful Chocobos. However, you need 2 Bandersnatches, aka the wolf-like creatures, in the Chocobo battle in order for it to be a terrible Chocobo. Since I previously caught this Chocobo, I think it's time to move this Chocobo in. But before it officially gets moved in, it's time to give it a proper name because it's so terrible. Now, in order to get it at its best stats, you have to feed it a number of Sylkis Greens. Usually 10 will be more than enough for the most part, but let's give it a total of 30 to be safe. But at a total of 5,000 gil of green, that is quite pricey. Good thing I have a lot of gil. Since we are now done feeding it, let's head on over to the gold saucer and see its stats and how it does in a race at C class. Well, I'm not going to even comment. C-class chocobos are usually at a mid 70 to high 80 kilometer speed range, so this chocobo won't do well at all. But let's try and race with it. Yeah, I won't let everyone sit through this. I'll upload a video of it by itself if someone really wants to see it though. Next, let's take a look at the Bad Chocobo. You can get this Chocobo very easily by fighting enemies right outside the Chocobo farm. Since I caught this previously, let's take a look at how this Chocobo is. Chocobilly says, this one doesn't seem to be very good. So I say,
oh really, fool?
Just like the terrible Chocobo, let's move it in. We're gonna give it some greens and head on over to the gold saucer. Again, the stats on this Chocobo aren't even decent at best, but at least I got to avoid getting last place this time around. Last but not least, let's check out the gold Chocobo you can get from beating Ruby Weapon. I mean, beating the hardest boss in the game should give you the best Chocobo period, right? Well, according to the wiki, this Chocobo isn't good for racing and breeding, quote unquote. So let's check this out. We will give it 30 Sylkis Greens, just like the 2 previous Chocobos, and check its stats at the gold saucer, like the previous Chocobos. Alright, we are at the gold saucer, and we're gonna Chocobo race with it. At a whopping speed of only 88 kilometers, it is bad for a gold Chocobo, but it's actually better compared to a standard blue or green Chocobo from a good and great Chocobo. But it isn't terribly bad for breeding, but it isn't ideal or recommended. Let's see how it does in a C-class race. For a C-class Chocobo, it's actually very good. I can see it doing pretty well in B class as well as with some struggles in A. But there are much better Chocobos out there which you can get through generational breeding or breeding for the gold Chocobo. All in all, Chocobilly and the FF Wiki are right. These Chocobos aren't good at all, but it was fun seeing what kinds of stats these Chocobos had. I hope you found this video useful, semi-entertaining, or somewhat interesting. In my next video, I think I'm going to do another video related to Chocobos in Final Fantasy VII. Stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.